This book is called An Author's Odyssey by Chris Holford. This series is about two twins, Connor and Alex Bailey, who go on huge adventures to save the world. This book is about when the masked man takes over the land of stories and the beginning of how they stop him. First, Connor and Alex start to travel into Connor's short stories to get heroes to defeat the masked man and his literary army. First, they go into the story star Bordia to get Auburn Sally and his crew, as well as Admiral Jacobson and his men. Next, they visit Galaxy Queen to persuade the Cyborg Queen to fight with them. Then they go to Paris to get the siblings Blaze, Morph, Whitney, and Bolt to defeat the Masked Man. Last, they go to the Adventures of Blimp Boy to get Bo and his homies. Then they go to the St. Andrew's Hospital to regroup with the twins' mom and Connor's friend B. Campo. The Masked Man shows up there with someone important to Alex and Connor. Then they go on a mad chase to get that person back, and they end up falling into one of Bree's stories. Will they beat the Masked Man and get their friend back? Find out if you read the book, and make sure to read the other 5 in the series. This is the 5th one. I hope you enjoy the book.
In the book Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by J.K. Rowling, first you get introduced to Albus, Rose, James, and Lily. Albus and James are Harry Potter and Ginny Weasley's kids, and Rose is Ron and Hermione's daughter, and Harry Potter gets married to Ginny Weasley, and Hermione Granger gets married to Ron Weasley. Albus and Scorpius Malfoy become friends on the Hogwarts Express. That's when you learn it that Scorpius is Draco Malfoy's son. Then they travel in time to save Cedric Diggory, but they only have 5 minutes. And when they get back to their world, it's very messed up. They finally get back their world to normal, and they learn that Scorpius is not Lord Voldemort's son, and Draco Malfoy never wanted to become a Death Eater. Read Harry Potter and the Cursed Child to read the rest of the story, and hopefully you like it. In House of Robots, there's a boy named Samuel, or Sam for short, who has a super smart mom who makes him take a robot named E to school. E, which stands for Egghead, means nerd. He has a really cool big sister named Snarty. When he goes to school, his mom forces him to start going with E's. And then Sammy's enemy, Cooper Elliott, the most popular kid in school, starts making fun of him and his best friend Trip, and everyone join in. Then E loses it and goes ballistic and wants to spell Kyrgyzstan over and over and over. Then E explodes. Mom fixes E, and then Sammy becomes the most popular kid in school, and then they have a Santa family with this guy who has to eat her volunteer, and then Trip tells him E is flammable. Then Cooper Elliott shoots a rubber band at some acid and sets E on fire. What happens next? Read House of Robots to find out.
The Land of Stories, Book 4, by Chris Colfer. Alex and Connor Bailey set off to find the Masked Man, who is an evil villain, and they go to a place called the Witch's Brew, which is where witches go to cast spells. When Alex finds out the Masked Man is her father, she can't stop thinking about it, and so the Fairy Council says she should give up the search to find the Masked Man, and so they ungodmother Alex. The evil Masked Man visits an evil witch, Morena, and asks her to help him destroy the Land of Stories, and in return, she will get any kingdom she desires. Alex, Connor, and their friends all travel into fairy tale books to find the Masked Man, and the Masked Man separates them into different books. So will they stop the Masked Man and find their friends, or will the Masked Man win, and Alex and Connor be trapped in the books forever? The Land of Stories, The Enchantress Returns, Chris Colfer. In this story, the main characters are Alex and Connor Bailey, and they are on a mission to save their mother, who has gotten kidnapped by the evil enchantress in the fairy tale world, and is just going to get engaged. They try and find a way back into the fairy tale world, so they have to go to their grandmother's house, because she has all sorts of passageways to the fairy tale world. And she also has a ton of passages to the fairy tale world because she is the fairy godmother. When they get to their grandmother's house, Alex touches a picture on the wall, and they find out how that is passageway to the fairy forest. So they go into it and are now in the ugly duckling pond. They get out of the pond and find their friend Froggy, and then they go on quests to defeat the Enchantress. They defeat the Enchantress, and their mom gets married. And at the end, Alex is thinking to stay in the Land of Stories to become a fairy. Will she stay or will she go?
The book Diary of Wimpy Kid, Hard Luck is written by Jeff Kinney. In this book, a boy named Greg is facing many problems in his life, and he only has one friend to back him up, and his name is Rowley. First, Rowley gets a girlfriend. Greg starts to get mad that Rowley ditches him for his girlfriend, and when Greg tries to find a friend, he realizes that trying to find a friend is a tough task. To change his fortunes, Greg is going to need to try everything he can to win back his best friend. Read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Hard Luck to see if Greg can get his best friend back and make everything normal.